Hey everyone, I am Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans. Welcome back for another weekly plan with me. Today we are going to be planning out the week of October the 5th to the 11th using the Cozy kit that we have in the shop. And I am just gonna go ahead and start with this thick washi down at the bottom here. This, I think when I see it, of pumpkin spice, it could resemble apple cider or hot cocoa, really whatever you want your hot beverage to be. And that is actually something I would love to know. I would love to know what your favorite beverage is down in the comments. Let me know what you love to drink this time of year, or maybe even all year round. I feel like fall is when we really start to break out the fun drinks, the cider and the hot chocolate. I mean, we drink coffee all year round, but we don't usually drink, you know, apple cider all year round. So it's really fun, I think. And then this past week, This week I put a little spot at the bottom for family time. We have been trying to be really intentional with our family time in the evenings. Now this obviously doesn't correlate with the actual time that we're doing it, but this is just a spot where I can put, instead of all just finishing supper, me doing dishes and us just kind of doing whatever, time just kind of gets away from us. So we're trying to be really intentional and planning out our family time. So we have been going to the park quite a bit. Sometimes we even just, okay, we're all gonna sit at the table and we're gonna color, you know, and I might plan or something like that. But the point is that we're trying to just make sure that we're doing something together as a family. One night we went and my husband was trimming the trees, which normally he would have just gone out and done himself, and I would have stayed back with the girls and we would have done something else. But this time we all went out there with him. We have a little wagon that my grandfather built for his sons, and my uncle actually gave it to us. And so we were pulling them around in that, and Hope was being Daddy's helper with the trees. So it was fun to just get out there and do that type of thing so that we could all be together. This week, actually on the 10th, my youngest daughter will turn 15 months. And I wanted to tell you exciting news. She took her first step just a couple of days ago. I think I scared her because I wasn't expecting it at all. With Hope, it was, you know, trying to, okay, come here, Hope, you know, trying to get her to come to me, and she finally did. Chloe, I was reading her a book and she had escaped me and she was crawling around, but I was still reading the book and I was looking at the coffee table because that's where I had the book. I was sitting on the couch and she was over by the fireplace just crawling around, and all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye I see her coming towards me and she like takes a step. So I was so excited, obviously, probably a little too excited, and I think I scared her because her eyes were so big, like what just happened? And it could be that she was, you know, not knowing what was going on since she actually walked, or just like, Mom, why did you freak out? Did I do something wrong? But anyway, she hasn't done it since, and that was several days ago, so that's kind of sad. But she will get there. I'm not worried at all. It's almost kind of fun that she gets to stay my little baby just a little bit longer. Hope was walking, full-fledged walking by the time she turned 1, and so it's fun, I think, that I get a little bit more snuggles with my baby. She is definitely more snuggly than Hope, so that has been really fun. She still only has those 2 teeth on the bottom. There are no signs that I can tell of any teeth coming on top or surrounding anytime soon. That girl does not let it stop her when it comes to her eating though, so she eats like a champ even with just the 2 teeth on the bottom. She's so funny. You pretty much have to cut her off because she would just eat, I mean, a full entire adult-sized plate if you would let her. She's funny. So I am just using my weekly script from last week, and then I just used some of my days of the week. I didn't feel the need to pull another full sheet of this since I didn't use a ton of it for this last week. So one thing I am missing is my this week script that I like to use over here, and I will just use to-do instead. I have enough to-dos on here in case you want to do one for every single day. I know a lot of people like to do a daily to-do, especially if they journal in their daily pages. I like to put my to-dos usually in my daily pages themselves. And I do still need to go back. I haven't really had a chance to go back and put in some things here on this spread, so I will use more. So exciting. This was the first full week away from my detox. If you remember me talking about that, I am still trying to eat very similarly though. I'm still trying to do the gluten-free, dairy-free as much as I can, trying to stay away from sugar. I say that. Actually, my husband surprised me and went and got some, we have Freddy's frozen custard here. It's kind of like Andy's. We do have an Andy's now, if you're familiar with that. Freddy's came first though, and it actually started in Wichita here, close to where I live. And I don't think it's spread all that far, but there was a traveling food truck around, and it was actually just right out in our smaller town. And so my husband was like, well, it's not every day you have Freddy's in your back door, in your backyard. So he went and got that, and we enjoyed just playing a board game together and eating that. I'm trying to do better about taking Sunday and just resting and not being so go, go, go and get all the things done. And I do still try and meal prep on these days. I don't have as big of a meal prep list this week though, so I was able to take some time and relax with him, which was definitely nice. So I'm just going through and putting these all down, and I figured out last week that if you do it just right, you have enough for all of these and then one for each day of the week if you use the 3 that are on the freebies as well. So I was using the 1 extra for each day as a meal, our evening meal together. So I will go through and put those on as well. I'm gonna put that right around 5:30, which is usually the time that we eat. My husband is still working from home for the most part, but there have been several days where he has had to travel up to the office because of one of the projects that he's working on. Not everybody was required to work from home in his office. Not everybody had the setup for it. They encouraged people that had a spot and an internet connection to allow them to work from home to do so. And so he did, and he has been ever since, but occasionally he does get permission to go ahead and go up. There's something that he's physically putting together up there, and so that's the reason he needs to go up occasionally. Now I'm going to push this one up. We have small groups starting this next Sunday. We are hosting a small group. Oh, and I need to grab a small group script for myself. I haven't done that quite yet. So I will need to do that. Church as always. Oh, and I just realized. So I am going to need to grab a church sheet as well. I feel like there's been a couple times where I've needed an extra church, so I might just grab one of those for myself as well. I think I'll go ahead and put meals here. And then I need to put down the days where we are at school. I have mentioned that Hope is going to daycare. It's a classroom daycare. So they've been learning their alphabet and numbers and colors. I mean, she already knew a lot of that already, but that's really fun whenever she is excited about what she learned that day and she comes and tells me and is all excited about it. She loves being in a classroom so much. She is really thriving, so that's been fun. But I do get to take my younger daughter with me to school, and she just naps while I teach, so that has been really great. There's a spot where I can put her to nap comfortably, so that's great. Because of just the unknowns that this school year, especially as we're getting into the typical flu and cough season and all of that, we decided to go ahead and not plan on any programs this fall. And so I have been able to do more with my kiddos. I teach music, and so we have been having a lot of fun. My junior high band is learning how to compose, and so that is really fun, and I feel like I have more flexibility in the schedule, and I'm not so pressured to teach them a whole bunch of songs for the program, which is great and dandy, and definitely necessary, and we are learning songs still. It just doesn't feel so pressured. So I think that is all that I have for you this week. This is kind of how I've been doing the past several weeks, kind of falling back into my kind of standard. Here's what I was doing with the family time when we first started it, and I liked it, but I didn't like how it was taking up so much room up there, so that's why I moved it down to the bottom, and I really like how that separates it out and it doesn't feel so cluttered up there. So I would love to know some of your favorite family time activities, things that you like to do with your loved ones, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.